This is the 2006 Concacaf Women's Gold Cup, second semifinal here from the Home Depot Center. And the favorites in this competition, as they are every time they enter it, the United States of America to take on Mexico. The winner goes to the World Cup. The loser has, well, a long road, but still qualification hopes will remain. But you'd like to get it done here and now. Glad you could join us as we look forward to seeing the red, white, and blue in action. I'm Max Brenos along with Mark Rogandino. A very strong team here for Greg Ryan.
Very strong indeed. In fact, the USA has allowed just 3 goals since Greg Ryan took over back in March of 2005. And he has continued to lead this team to their winning ways. Of course, as we talked about, a host of new players on the roster for the U.S. side. And looking for the three-peat here, as in 2000 and 2002, they were able to come away as the winners of the CONCACAF, defeating Brazil in 2000 and then getting past Canada in 2002. And they might have a chance to get past Canada if they can win here tonight in 2006. You see the road for Mexico to get here. A 3-0 win over the Soca Princesses of Trinidad and Tobago. And the earlier match we had for you here on FSC had Canada behind 2 Christine Sinclair goals with a 4-0 win over a really overmatched Jamaican side. And we're looking forward to a good one here. Glad you could join us on FSC.
Now the national anthems first, United States. That you'll be familiar with. There'll be names we'll be introduced to over the next few days. 2 big matches, and now the national anthem for Mexico. Mexico stunned the region when they knocked out Canada in Olympic qualifying. We know in CONCACAF you have the U.S. and Canada, and there's a huge gap to the rest of the field. Mexico want to prove that the gap has closed. What an opportunity for them against the mighty Americans, who we'll see. I mean, they've been spectacular since Greg Ryan has taken over. As we look at our referee, Monique Ferreira James, our lead official.
No doubt that Mexico is one of the most improved women's soccer countries in the world, and they became the first Spanish-speaking country to qualify for the Women's World Cup back in 1999. We turn to the starting lineups for tonight's main event here at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California for the United States. It is Hope Solo. She has emerged with the absence of Brianna Scurry in 2005. Hope Solo has become the goalkeeper really for the ages now for the women's team. Mitz, Rampone, Whitehill, and Chalupny, a very formidable back four, and they're becoming a very tight unit back there as well. Ali Wagner, she's really the catalyst in the midfield that'll help serve balls forward. Up top, of course, looking for Abby Wambach. Sofia Perez, the goalkeeper for Mexico. And in the midfield, it'll be Gonzalez, Lopez, and Leyva. But the two players to focus in up top, Monica Ocampo, very crafty. And then Maribel Domínguez, she is really probably the most talented Mexican player ever to come out. You can see that Mora, the former UCLA standout, is not in the starting lineup tonight. Ocampo instead to pair up there with Maribel Domínguez. And when Maribel scores, they call her Marigol. We'll see if the U.S. defense can shut her down tonight. There's Leonardo Cuellar, Max. He is the head boss. And Greg Ryan, the coach here for the women's side. I tell you what, he has done a sensational job since taking over back in 2005, hoping to continue on here tonight.
Mexico with a lot of the more recognizable names not in the starting 11. Other girls given a chance to perform here, as now you start to feel the electricity in this stadium with the arrival of the Americans. Mexican team very familiar with the American players, several educated and playing here in the U.S. collegiate system. Hope Solo with Brianna Scurry on the roster, but Solo gets the start. Benedict James gets us underway, and Mexico in green going right to left. Of course, this is the biggest rivalry in the men's game.
I'll tell you what, Max, slowly developing into a top-notch rivalry here as well in the women's side. We'll have to keep a close eye on Abby Wambach as she was nursing an ankle injury coming into this one.
And it's going to be the first flag of the match. Just getting off to a quick start there was Lindsay Tarpley. Castillo stepped up to the U.S. offside. Mexico will need a nice equilibrium when it comes to possession if they will have any hopes of competing here. So much star power on the United States. You have, of course, Christine Lilly and her 300-plus caps. Abby Wambach and her almost a goal per match average. Not almost, but pretty close.
I think one of the things about Abby Wambach that sets her apart from other women out on the field tonight is the fact that not only does she have great technical skill and she's able to work in tight space, but she also is a big physical presence up top. She is not going to be pushed off the ball by some of the smaller Mexican defenders. And when I talked to Greg Ryan yesterday coming into this match, he really thinks that he might have an opportunity to exploit some of the back four for Mexico. In particular, he thinks that if they can attack from the sides out on the flanks and get into one-on-one situations. Also, you would like to see a player like Ali Wagner, who we just saw on the screen there. She'll deliver some great quality balls from the center of the pitch.
Well, the U.S. already surging. They'll get a free kick on that left flank after a nice little change of pace there. The U.S. have it all.
This is actually a light schedule, really, for the women's team as Lori Chalupny trying to get up that left side, tripped up, and the right call, I think, there from our official is the U.S. will have the first quality chance here from the set piece.
Wagner, clipped by the wall. This is the captain, Maribel Domínguez. Did pretty well to get out of a tight bind there. And now whipped forward by Juana Lopez. You can hear there is plenty of support for the tricolor.
Plenty of support on both sides, as you might expect. Fans still filing in here. There was a contingency of fans here for the first match between Canada and Jamaica, but really you saw the majority of the soccer fans starting to show up toward the latter stages of the Canada 4-0 victory. Nice cut move there from Osborne.
Osborne to the middle of the park. Out wide to Chalupny. Nice long ball for Wagner on that left side.
What I was going to say, Max, is that the U.S. finds themselves in a bit of a different circumstances. In 1991, it took 5 matches to qualify, 4 in 95, 5 again in 2002. But here they only find themselves having to get through 2 matches, really, in essence, to make their bid for China in 2007.
Bid to the World Cup on offer for the winner here. They'll join Canada, who won earlier tonight. You gotta like the start for the Americans there, going through the motions nicely. Heather Mitz. Nice effort there to get back on side. What time to stay stationary is Abby Wambach. You know, you look at female athletes, you know, trying to try the men's game. Annika Sorenstam certainly in golf, and some other athletes maybe in tennis. If there's one woman that could do it, maybe in soccer, if it can be done, number 20's your lady.
She certainly has the physical size to be able to compete with the men, and as well as the tactical skill. But you never know, you get against some of those tough defenders from various nations around the world, and things get a little more dicey.
Yep. And she also has working against her that she was educated at the University of Florida, but that it's okay.
Oh, as a former Seminole, you won't hold that against her, right?
Yep, no powerhouse in the women's college game these days. Upward and onward. Mexico showing flashes here. The hard challenge there. Rampone.
And it's Ocampo that is upended there by Lloyd. And in fact, Ocampo, as we mentioned when we took a look at the lineups, is one of those 2 players. We'll get another look at it here. The tackle comes in from the side, but I think it's the awkward way that Ocampo falls to the ground after. One more look at it. Maybe took a little knock to the left. Is it the left knee? No, the left ankle. But Ocampo, along with Maribel Domínguez, the 2 players. Oh, the magic water is already out here in minute 6.
At the tee in there, it looks like some boiling, piping hot water on Monica Ocampo. Pretty hard challenge as Carly Lloyd, just getting a warning from our official. Carly Lloyd from Delran, New Jersey. This is an interesting USA squad. They really have the entire map covered. We have players from Hawaii, of course, in California. You have girls from New Jersey and Michigan and Alabama. All points represented, really.
And a credit to Greg Ryan. He has really been able to pull from a number of resources to make sure that he has the right roster heading into the Gold Cup here. And when you talk about Greg Ryan, I mean, you look at the record, what he has done so far for this side. They have gone 24 wins and 5 draws since he has been the head coach. And of course, they are on the brink of breaking the record for most consecutive games unbeaten.
Cross there by Ali Wagner. I think you make a great point. I think you see the scope of players and where they're from means that Greg Ryan really is going all over the country looking for the best talent. And he thinks he's got a good group here, and I don't think anyone's going to argue with the results. They are coming off a title in the Peace Queen Cup, a tournament where they featured European powers like Denmark. They had Australia there, who's always competitive, and they were able to do it.
I think not only when we talk about Greg Ryan pulling from the resources around the country, but what is also reflective in this side is with some of the players stepping down from that golden era, we have new players coming into the fold like Shannon Box, who's not in the lineup tonight, Ali Wagner, Tarpley, Osborne, Heather Mitz. These players are products of coming up through the youth system, something that I've heard a lot of soccer fans really talk about the men's game and why we have not seen success on the men's side as we have on the women's side. And I think it's a reflection maybe of the youth system.
Abby Wambach just needed the turn, and credit Mexico for defending well there. Night and day with the atmosphere in this game and the previous matchup. And the play really superior as well out of the gates. At Whitehill for the throw on this near side. And this is what you want to see when the USA and Mexico play in any sport. Whitehill goes long. Run there to the near side from Lilly.
Going back to Abby Wambach for a minute there, Max, you know, she credits the longtime face of U.S. women's soccer, Mia Hamm, as one of the inspirations to teaching her how to become a professional. The two of them were teammates with the Washington Freedom in the WSA in the early 2000s. And can you imagine a partnership like that? That's kind of like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. You have Wambach, who is the bigger size player up top, and she's getting it fed into her by the Michael Jordan, that is Mia Hamm. And she still says she has a long way to go, but clearly she is one of the standouts for this U.S. side.
That golden generation saw their last action in Athens, winning the gold medal. And now it's this new group that get to shine, especially in the attacking end. Chalupny. Excellent move there. There as it goes to Carly Lloyd. Whitehill. Into the corner, well weighed. There's Lilly, dragged down. Free kick. Now what do you say about Christine Lilly? 318 caps, 116 goals. Now at 35 years of age, just 5'4" tall, but can mix it up with the tallest and the toughest.
So in other words, what can you say? You can say a lot about Christine Lilly.
Quick turn and into the back of the net. The U.S. are in front. And who else but Abby Wambach, 65th international goal, cleaning up the mess after it was spilled by Sofia Perez.
A goalkeeping blunder leads to the U.S. first goal, but they will take it just the same. Abby Wambach, she is another player, I should say, up for the 2006 FIFA Women's World Cup Player of the Year. That is her 16th goal in 2006 to go with 8 assists, but I don't think it could have come at a better time for Greg Ryan. This is how he wanted his side to get started, and yeah, look at all the defenders just hanging out at the top of the 18-yard box, watching Wambach make a run. You're not going to mark her 1v1 inside the 18-yard box. She is just too strong.
Well, the back line there absolutely staggered for Mexico. You can see some of the more advanced defenders waving their arms for offside. Little did they know that Elizabeth Gomez and Maria Castillo were staggered back.
And I think that goal also speaks a bit to team chemistry, because you saw Carly Lloyd. She knew all she had to do was blindly serve it in front and at least put it in a dangerous position. The goalkeeping blunder, loose ball inside the 6. Abby is right there to poke it home, 1-0 U.S.
Willing to leave anything to chance. A quick goal just what the doctor ordered for Greg Ryan. Here's Tarpley. Juana Lopez. As the U.S. has Mexico hemmed in now. Chalupny. Just want to play their brand, and it looks like they're getting to do what they want right now. Sweeping tackle there. Enough to disrupt the run of Lori Chalupny, who has been very active up that left side.
Well, as I said early on, that is one of the things that Greg Ryan wants to exploit, the back four for Mexico. Make sure that they use the flanks. I asked him, is there one particular style you're looking to attack with? And he just said, we just want to play good soccer in terms of getting the ball to the right areas at the right time.
That'll be offside. Mexico struggling with the clearances.
Oddly enough, Max, this is the 14th time that Mexico and the United States have met here in the United States. They've met 4 times on neutral soil. And certainly you would have to say, when we talk about improvement for Mexico, they have come a long way since the 12-0 thumping at the Concacaf qualifying in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, all the way back in 1991, 15 years ago.
Too much pace here for Mexico defensively. Slamming in there was Wambach after a nice run by Tarpley. Ocampo. I think it's stretching out here. Lopez. Tackle in there by Chalupny. Intended, I believe, for Wambach, goes beyond to her, and now played by Ruby Sandoval.
A bit ambitious on that first ball to send it forward for Wambach. She hadn't quite made her way into the space.
Mexico had to go through a qualifier to get here, beating Trinidad and Tobago 3-0. Monica Gonzalez, Maribel Domínguez, Patricia Perez scoring in that game. Gonzalez and Domínguez playing. Perez along with Iris Mora. One of the starting 11 for Leonardo Cuellar.
Well, again, look at the toughness here for Abby Wambach. She takes a little bit of a knock there from behind from Sandoval, but quickly she is right back up on her feet. She is not about to show even an inch of vulnerability when it comes to putting in physical challenges.
Greg Ryan assisted to April Heinrichs. He is now the man in charge. And you can't argue with the start. 24-0-5, as Mark alluded to earlier, after taking over in 2005. Amazing that in just over 2 years, or just over a year and a half, you already played almost 30 games. This is his 30th in charge. Crossed by Wambach. Oh, you gotta like Perez standing firm there. It stung, but not gonna give Lindsay Tarpley the satisfaction.
Well, especially considering that Perez is the one who gave up the rebound leading to the first goal for the U.S., or only goal, I should say, of the match so far. And this time coming in with the challenge is Tarpley. But you like to see the aggressiveness on both sides, on the parts of both players. Perez, though, with the good gloves to keep that one in her hands. And there you see Christine Lilly right behind her.
Refreshing also to see Perez keep her feet and not take a moment there. Clearly it left a mark. Wambach. Rampone. Whitehill swings it across for Lloyd Chalupny. Excellent turn here by Lilly. Heading to the corner, does get the cross through, but there is Perez to cut it out.
Christine Lilly had just a slight window of space right there to serve that ball in with the left foot, and she used what little room she had. Nice job to get her left foot around that ball to shape it into the area. Again, Perez plays it perfectly, though.
Wasn't sure she was going to get a quality ball in, but boy, did she ever.
As you mentioned, Christine Lilly, queen of the caps at 34 years of age, and she took over the captaincy for the retired Julie Foudy. Very astonishing. She is the first man or woman to play 300 times for her country. 300 plus times, I should add. Even at 34 years of age, Max, she has the, I think Greg Ryan has given her the ability to not do quite as much running as she used to do. She's allowed to play a little bit more in the offensive foray from time to time. She used to run back and forth thousands of times, covering back for the midfield. Now she plays a little more offensive minded, as she should.
I might give her an opportunity to reach 400 before it's all said and done. Here's Maribel Domínguez. The U.S. have tilted the scales in their direction. Clips Tarpley, and now away from Sandoval. Ocampo around Heather Mitz, and now it's shoulder and shoulder. Mitz, an awkward challenge there. Well, you have Rampone, you have Mitz, you have Chalupny, all like fullbacks. Central defense maybe lacking a bit in the U.S. There's a category to keep an eye on in this game. Leonardo Cuellar. Mexico not known for really developing women's sports, but this team's going a long way in changing that.
Leonardo with some ties to San Diego, where I grew up. Followed him when he was a player in the old North American Soccer League. Spent time with the San Diego franchise down there. Although I remember him slightly thinner, Max, and with an afro that extended out about 7 inches.
It's a good look. Doesn't have a very good shelf life, I'm afraid. Gomez. Flat ball will not get there. Osborne. Mexico, the touches must be quick, but not accurate.
Mexico really had a difficult time trying to get into the final offensive third. Credit to the U.S. defense. They're happy. Look at the numbers back here. You see 5 white jerseys to 2 or 3 green jerseys. Greg Ryan, the coach of the U.S. side, will take that all evening long here at the Home Depot Center.
Precious possession here for Mexico. Down a goal. Goal. Miami Wambach. Domínguez. That ball underneath for Leyva. And a tricky play is Hope Solo. Had to push it over the crossbar.
The one time we have seen Hope tested so far, the long shot, and I think Hope is just thinking safety first here. No reason to give up an easy one. I'm not even sure she did get a touch on that. Take another look at it here on the replay, and you can see maybe she got the fingertips on it to push it out for the corner.
Shot by Teresa Worbis. Komonovic starts to bend. Actually found a target. It was Worbis again. Shepherd over by Capt Whitehill. Goal kick for Hope Solo.
Well, fans, plenty of soccer action here on FSC, including a look around the world of soccer with FC Fox, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, this Friday, the 24th, FC Fox, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific.
You'll see Heather Mitz, who has her segment on that show.
Along with our colleague, Christopher Sullivan.
If you're lucky, Christopher...
I should say your colleague. You're the one that does all the work with him.
I know. It's a heavy price to pay.
But hey, he is a former San Diego State alum, as am I, so us Aztecs like to stick together.
Glad to hear that. Ali Wagner. Chalupny. Lilly. Another serviceable cross. Goes beyond Wambach. Still played here. Tight little ball, though. Goes straight into Perez, who has faced her fair share of crosses. That one played in by Lilly.
Well, tough for Christine Lilly to shape that ball as she did earlier on the left side. Her body movement was moving away from goal. Her momentum taking her toward the corner flag, and really difficult to try and get a powerful service onto the back post.
Heather Mitz to Whitehill and back again. Keeping that foot there, has turned it over. The ball travels, though. Capt Whitehill, central defensive role from Birmingham, Alabama. Just 2 caps away from 100. On the ground there is Worbis.
Get another look here on the replay. The 2 players going in there head to head. And it's Leslie Osborne winning it there for the U.S.
Free kick played in. Looked out by Whitehill.
I think defensively, the U.S. women's side will be very happy to see Mexico loft those balls into the area. They have much bigger, much more physical, stronger defenders back there than do Mexico's front runners. If you look at some of the back players measuring in at 5'9", 5'8", as compared to most of the Mexican players up top, at least in Maribel Domínguez, along with Monaco Ocampo, a bit smaller in stature.
Mexico have weathered a couple early flurries and are now getting some set pieces of their own. Hasn't worked just yet. That one headed away by, like Abby Wambach was back there. Monica Gonzalez. Elizabeth Gomez. Intercepted by Wagner. One touching out from Abby Wambach. Carly Lloyd.
And there's a classic Ali Wagner ball. First touch to play it to herself into the space, and second touch into the space for Christine Lilly.
Straight to Sofia Perez.
I think she'd be a bit disappointed with there, the U.S. captain. She had a chance to be one-on-one on the outside, something we mentioned Coach Greg Ryan was looking for. Let his players, when they have the opportunity, take on these Mexican defenders one-on-one. And that time, Lilly, who has a great first step, could have had that opportunity, but elected to serve it in with the left foot.
Mexico looking to open things up. Lilly. Eventually out of play. It'll be a Mexican throw. Nope, deflection. It'll be a U.S. throw. Last touch by Saucedo. Here in 2006, Women's World Cup. In 2007, the field taking shape. Just a few bids left to give out. One more slot to be filled in about an hour and a half.
And as I mentioned during the Canada-Jamaica match earlier this evening, Greg Ryan has his eyes and his team's eyes set on this match here. I asked him tactically if they were looking to come away with something specific from this match in terms of maybe work cohesively better, defend collectively better, but he's very clearly stated that he expects his side to put their eyes on this match and earn that automatic bid for the Women's World Cup in China. They'll take whatever comes after that in stride.
Saucedo. The United States, for these ladies, the World Cup looming, you know, you want to perform well, you want to get as many appearances as possible so that you're part of that roster. And even better, you're on the pitch when those big games come rolling around. Disappointment in the last World Cup, certainly. The European teams emerged. The Germans lifted the trophy. Basically, the United States have won everything else in their path in the last few years. Wambach. She disrupted the play, and now it's off to Ali Wagner.
Well, you could see Wambach was a little slow to get up after that challenge near the touchline.
Given away, but hanging back and making the play there. Rampone. Solo to Heather Mitz. Tricky play here for Castillo. Hit it to the wrong person there.
And I think the difference you see between the back four for Mexico and the back four for the U.S. is the U.S. very cool, calm, composed on the ball. If one defender gets beat, you see a second attacking run come back in behind her as Hope Solo with an easy save right there. She'll be happy to save those types of opportunities all evening long.
Those looping balls seem to be the best option for Mexico in their attempts on goal. That time it was Maribel Domínguez.
Oh, and I said it before, I don't care what level of soccer you're at. Anytime you're shooting from 30+ yards out away from goal, it's going to take quite an effort. Some Roberto Carlos type stuff to beat a goalkeeper from that type of distance.
Christy Rampone. Mitz. Took a lot to bring Abby down, but a little too aggressive, leading to a free kick. He was happy to be in front, but they want to start distancing themselves and not give Mexico any hopes that they can compete.
And this, Max, sorry to cut you off, this is where that size of Wambach comes into play, not only on that collection, helping to earn the free kick here, but now on the set piece. She's a big body. Look for her as a target on the back post.
Whitehill. Wagner. Lindsay Tarpley. Trying to lead Chalupny, but well out of her reach. Mexico play it safe. Back into the area. Leyva.
And I think for the U.S. so far here, this is playing out typically how they pictured it. Mexico has really always struggled with the U.S. team athletically in their ability to move up and down the pitch. And although they have improved a bit, I think it's going to be very tough, and they will be hard-pressed to slow this U.S. attack for an entire 90 minutes of play.
Yeah, their midst trying to lead Lloyd. Breaking up on the right side, Juana Lopez, but always someone there to make the play in the back.
And that's really the breaking point right there. What do they do with the ball when they get to the top of the offensive third right there? Electing to try and play it into the space. U.S. has had 2-3 defenders get there first. And as we get another look at the tangle up with Abby Wambach. Relentless work pace up top from Abby.
Mexican defenders mixing it up physically with Abby Wambach. Giving up free kicks, but not giving her any extra ground whatsoever. Misplayed in the back there by Sandoval. Again, the defenders bouncing off of Abby Wambach. Wambach down again. It's starting to, the wear and tear is starting to get to her. Maybe that's the game plan for Mexico. Let's pinch her in.
You wonder if they know that coming into this one, Abby nursing that ankle injury just a bit. The late word from Erin Heifetz of the U.S. women's national team coming into this one is that she would be match fit and ready for this one. And it looks so far, obviously, with the goal, and she has had no problem going against the challenges.
The dummy didn't work. And as she hit the abort mission button, she looks a little fatigued. Half an hour behind us. That one wide of the Sofia Perez goal. Off of Ali Wagner's foot.
Well, you know, Max, I think she was trying to take a page out of the Cristiano Ronaldo book, Abby Wambach, on that move right there. I think she tried a tricky little step over and just got a little bit too far ahead of herself. Here's another look at that last shot. Well wide of the goal, but Perez will fling her body to the left side just to make sure she has that far post covered. One more look at it here. Chalupny trying to bend this one from right to left. She hit it well, just not on target.
You mentioned Erin Heifetz, the press officer for the U.S. team. We'd like to thank him for all his help in providing research notes for us, letting us know what is going on, the inside information to help our broadcast.
Yes, I will second that motion. In fact, Max, I had a chance to work with Erin before on a couple of college women's broadcasts. Knows the game very well, obviously. Tell you what, if you ever want to know anything about the women's game, national status or even collegiately, he is the guy to turn to.
Going to the near side for Ocampo. Ocampo gets the cross in. Far post was Domínguez. A little push in the back. Disagrees with our official Ferreira James.
Maybe the best chance we've seen so far moving forward in the offensive third for Mexico here this evening. Nice movement up the left side. Good ball served in across the back, but Domínguez, you saw the hands come up and the quick little push in the back. That's an easy call, as Chalupny does a nice job with the comb over header too to flick it wide.
Comb it over. You can see years gone by, the U.S. would have blanketed Mexico with goals and attack after attack. Right now, it's the edge. It's not as vast as it once was. Mexico get their chances in attack, and the possession is a massive difference. Nice ball lifted over. Perez comes off her line.
Nice touch.
Around Carly Lloyd. Low driven cross. Knocked away by Sandoval. Chalupny. Castillo.
That nice bit of imagination there, Max, from Carly Lloyd. You could see Mexico was expecting her to serve it from the near side first time. She took a soft little touch, playing it into the space to herself before serving it.
Wambach walking the tightrope.
Tickets start at only $15, soccer fans, and all you have to do is go to LAGalaxy.com. You can come see the finals on Sunday, as well as the consolation game. Canada, Jamaica, Mexico, and the U.S. So far, Canada has booked their ticket with their 4-0 win earlier, and the winner of this one will face off in the finals, and those two teams, obviously, with the right to the World Cup in China. Again, go to LAGalaxy.com for more ticket information. We'll see you there.
Poor ball by Wagner, just went straight out. We had an aberration, I'm sure.
Wagner, the Santa Clara women's soccer program product. They have produced a number of quality players over the years. Brandy Chastain comes to mind.
Ball effect in the area. And now sliding down as she delivered it. That effort goes wide. As Lindsay Tarpley.
Lindsay Tarpley, I mentioned colleges and what programs some of these ladies played in. From a long line of talented players from the University of North Carolina. She knows a thing or two about playing in big games.
Greg Ryan happy to see his team in front, but I'm sure demands a better performance. The U.S. team fit and ready to go as they had that busy schedule last month over in South Korea.
And a quick whistle there. That one will go in favor of Mexico. We'll have the free kick just outside the center circle here. And you can see the U.S., though, is doing a good job winning the battles in the midfield, not allowing Mexico any space going forward. That's a very wishful ball, trying to serve it forward up the left side for Lopez. It's not going to find much room there, Max.
This is the 23rd game in 2006 for the U.S. They're able to squeeze in on average a couple fixtures per month. Wambach looking to curl around Castillo. She does. Now hits it off the face of Gomez.
And I think that Abby might be feeling a bit of fatigue right now. She's made a lot of diagonal runs here in the first half, and as I mentioned, coming in with that ankle injury, maybe have not had the opportunity to train quite as much as Greg Ryan might like.
There's something there that left her short of 100%. It's really amazing at this level, in this sport. You miss just like a week of training, the gap grows, especially with fitness. You can lose a lot of ground as well.
Well, the majority of these ladies have spent the past 6 months over the summer gearing up for all of this. A lot of training sessions here in the Southland of California at the Home Depot Center, getting themselves ready for this tournament and the opportunity to book their tickets to the 2007 Women's World Cup in China. So as you might imagine, sometimes over the process, you do tend to get a bit dinged up. The #1 offense for the U.S. going against the #1 defense. I'm sure there's no lack of intensity at some of those training sessions.
A little skirmish underneath, and our referee will separate. You mentioned ladies playing, they really pitched their tents here at the Home Depot Center. Quite familiar with the grounds these days. Ali Wagner. Well struck, but too high. Hit the sweet spot. Did Lloyd Chalupny.
Well, I think just as we saw Canada in the first match of the evening, knocking on the door, to use the term, really just putting a number of opportunities, chance after chance, around the goal mouth, and you wonder when the time will come that they'll swing this one open.
Ooh.
That is a no-no.
There was some intent on that one. Capt Whitehill was struck by Maria Castillo.
Good restraint there, though, by Capt not to react and come back. It's always the second culprit that gets caught.
40th minute, goal by Abby Wambach, separating these two and getting the U.S. closer to a World Cup bid. The way Mexico have played, if they lose here, they like their chances to find a way into that competition. It's quite a change. You could go straight into the field with a win here. You lose, you have third place game. Then you have to have 2 more games against Japan in order to qualify. Wambach, Chalupny.
Great ball.
Wagner. Tarpley. Back to the left foot. One blocked by Monica Gonzalez. Let's continue this sequence.
No sense of urgency here for Mexico to get out of their own end. I think that plays right into the U.S.'s tactical strategy.
Tarpley's had the springs in the step. Another mitts. Tarpley trying to lead Abby Wambach. And Sofia Perez has done a super job here in the first half.
He's taking another look on the replay. Nice ball served in by Tarpley. So far here in the first half, Perez, though, has been very active. She has had some great anticipation coming off her line to win the ball. So those crosses are going to have to be pulled out just a little further, either to try and stretch her to make her come out even a little further into some dangerous territory, or obviously you'll have to drive the ball in, a little more of a strike on a laser to keep her at home.
Mexico will retain possession here. Hanging in there. A couple players misplaying it, and it gives a second opportunity there. Nelly Wagner really loops it too far. Wearing the sacred number 10 shirt.
But all the pressure right now is on the midfield and defense here of, and a step over there from Mitz of Mexico. The last 10, 12 minutes or so has been dominated by the U.S. in Mexico's half.
Sandoval. Mitz. And this time it is Osborne who is brought down.
Worbis coming in from behind with a hard challenge there. But you see Leslie Osborne, she's quick back to her feet. Another set piece chance here for the women from U.S.
Yeah, the header works out nicely, but it's over the crossbar. Lindsay Tarpley looking to increase her total of international goals, currently with 13.
58th appearance for Tarpley in a national team jersey. And she brings that little bit of a quicker pace and a crafty side to combine up top with Abby Wambach. Exactly what you want to see in a strike partnership. One player that can really control the space in terms of a target, and another player who can run off those possessions.
Excellent turn. Gets into the area. Back to goal, Wambach. Slides into maintain possession, if only for a moment, but now it's away with Gomez.
Max, I'll tell you what, we've seen some missed clearances by Mexico, and they haven't really hurt them so far, but a couple of times their defenders have tried to just clear the ball out first time, and it's been a lazy clearance that has floated right in front of the goal, 20, 30 yards out. You give the U.S. women's side a couple more opportunities to pounce on some of those turnovers, and they will surely make Mexico pay.
Hit the 45th minute, Mexico patient. Working that ball around. As you pointed out also, seemingly when it gets to the defenses of these teams, the U.S. you feel pretty calm and confident that they'll make the play. Sometimes the Mexican back four look a little shaky, and you wonder if we were about to set off on an adventure.
And you see it right there when Christine Lilly closes down against the touchline, using the defender as that extra help to close down the space. And a lazy clearance there from Mexico. And a lucky bounce going the other way for the U.S. And all of a sudden, Christine Lilly is off to the races towards the near post.
Chalupny a little bit more stay at home in the last 20 minutes of this first half. One additional minute to be played, and we have begun it.
Well, Max, just as we saw in our first match of the evening, Canada took a 1-0 lead into the halftime break against Jamaica, made a few tactical adjustments, and we know how that one ended.
Still time for the U.S. to extend this lead. And a free kick at the crust of the 18. Mexico disappointed to give that up, but certainly better than the alternative, which would have been a penalty.
We'll take another look here on the replay. Nice turn. Not so sure she's going to get to that ball in the second effort. This will give us a good angle right here.
Was she in the area?
I think clearly she is right on the edge of the area. And Christine Lilly looking to make that turn. But hey, when you're a veteran with more than 300 appearances for your team, you get that call. And now a chance for the U.S. before the break. Surely this will be the last couple of touches on the ball before. And this is something they've probably worked on over the last couple of weeks.
A backbreaker this would be if they could slip it in.
I predict it. Wagner will touch it to Lilly, who will stop it, and the shot will be hit by the third person in the lineup out there.
Yellow card to Maribel Domínguez, I believe. She's been jawing with the official for the last few minutes. Still protesting that call that she said she didn't push Lloyd Chalupny. Carly Lloyd may be a free kick taker. Hits the wall, which had blown up. And I imagine that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Corner kick has been awarded.
The U.S. is going to have to hurry up if they want to make something out of this. We're well into that, well past that 1 minute of stoppage time. Send everything forward here for the final kick.
Starts to drift. And another good save by Sofia Perez.
Well, unfortunately for Sofia Perez, she had the one blunder with the ball early on that slipped underneath her. and came to the feet of Abby Wambach, who poked it in for that 1-0 advantage. But she's been very good on the crosses, and there's the confirmation on the yellow card to Maribel Domínguez.
Well, you make a good point. The goal the U.S. scored of a scrappy variety, so Mexico have to be pretty happy the way they have played. 1-0 at the half. We'll be back with more of the Gold Cup after this.
The road starts here. The U.S. national team begins the journey to the 2007 FIFA Women's World Cup in China, right here against world soccer powers. The Concacaf Women's Gold Cup, November 22nd and 26th at America's Cathedral to Soccer, the Home Depot Center. History begins here. The Women's Gold Cup, qualifier for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Tickets start at just $15 and are on sale now. Call 1-877-3-GALAXY or visit lagalaxy.com for yours.
Its time has come.
The revolution is here.
And here.
And here.
And here.
Introducing the Bowflex Revolution Home Gym.
You've never experienced anything like it, because there's never been anything like it.
Call or visit our website now for your free DVD and information kit.
The Bowflex Revolution defines the cutting edge of home fitness machines.
Its Spiroflex technology is a completely new experience.
The Spiroflex system is the secret behind the revolution. It provides a linear strength curve so you get smooth, even resistance throughout the full range of motion.
It's really smooth. It almost glides.
Work out just 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and you'll get the results you want. With stronger legs, tighter abs, and a fit, sexy look. All for payments as low as $37 a month. With over 100 gym-quality exercises, the Bowflex Revolution offers unsurpassed versatility for every body and every goal.
Yet it's so simple, you'll get a great workout the first time you use it.
With so many choices, you can vary your workout daily. Call or go online for this free DVD and information kit all about the revolution.
The Spiroflex technology has resistance built right into these very lightweight plates, so you get the smoothness of plate-loaded machines without the heavy weights, an all-in-one space-efficient machine.
I love how lightweight the plates are, and they're very easy to use.
With weight resistance available from 5 to more than 400 pounds, this home gym is ideal for everyone.
20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and you'll get results in as little as 6 weeks, guaranteed. The Bowflex Revolution is built so well, it comes with a 10-year limited warranty. And now for as low as $37 a month, you can radically improve the way you train. Call now or visit our website for your free informational DVD and join the revolution.
Everything surprised me. The way I look, the way I feel. Hey, I'm 44 years old and I feel great. I'm Dan Marino and I lost 22 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Get real results with Nutrisystem for men.
Hey, I'm at my playing weight now. Losing never felt so good.
Call or go online now to get 4 weeks of awesome food. Plus, through this...
Welcome back to Fox Soccer Channel's coverage of the 2006 Concacaf Women's Gold Cup, where behind an Abby Wambach goal in the early going, the United States are on top of Mexico 1-0. This is the second half of our doubleheader here on FSC, and the first match featuring Canada and Jamaica, and we bring you some highlights from that one. First half, great ball over the top. Christine Sinclair, who is also up for the FIFA Women's Player of the Year. Nice collection, the left-footed finish with the volley for the Canadian captain, and she buries it into the back of the net. 1-0 in favor of Canada, and that is the way they would head into the halftime break. Second half we go, and again it was more from Sinclair, this time providing the service, makes the near post run, and she picks out her partner. That is Rianne Wilkinson, one-timing it into the back of the net to make it 2-0. One more look at it. Not the best of defending there from the Jamaican Reggae girls. So 2-0. Sinclair, though, would find another long ball from Kiss. Bangs off of the crossbar. Sinclair with the easy finish to beat Jackson into the open net. 3-0 is the scoreline, and just for good measure, but merely cosmetic at this point. As we take another look, you see Jackson was clearly beaten, and watch Sinclair. She'll just easily take 2 touches to put it into the far side corner. And it would finish off with a chance for Melanie Booth, making the back post run there. Jackson again gets a touch to it this time, but Booth easily heads it into the back of the net. And 4-0 is how that would finish. Canada booked their ticket for the finals on Sunday here at the Home Depot Center. One more look at the Melanie Booth goal. Tipped by Jackson, the goalkeeper, just not quite far enough away. A reminder, though, Barclays English Premier League coverage coming up this weekend for you. A huge soccer weekend. Manchester United and Chelsea, a heavyweight title bout for you soccer fans. You will not want to miss this one. Didier Drogba looks to continue his prowess in the EPL, and hopefully Manchester United will hope to shut him down. Live on FSC Sunday, November 26th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific. Set your TiVos now. You won't want to miss any of that one. We take a look at the first half highlights when we return. U.S. on top, 1-0. Welcome back to the Home Depot Center, where the United States on top 1-0, along with Max Bretos. This is Mark Rogandino. Glad you could join us here on FSC. And Max, pretty entertaining first half. U.S. with plenty of attacking chances.
Much better game we saw in the first. However, not vintage domination from the U.S. women. This is the goal, and as we said, very scrappy. Could have been avoided if the keeping was a little more solid in that instant. In defense of Sofia Perez, she was great for the remainder of the half.
And she would love to have that chance back, just fumbling it just a split second, and that's all it takes for Abby Wambach right there on the doorstep. All good goal scorers find a way to get a touch, and that's exactly what she did. Maybe the best chance of the half for Mexico. Hope Solo just parries that one over the top to give away the corner, but a long distance shot there really doesn't give her too much trouble, just making sure safety first, as you might imagine, and then moving forward. Ali Wagner with the long chance. She's usually the creative, crafty midfielder who lays the ball into the space for the strikers to get an opportunity, but giving it a go herself right there. And then to finish up the first half, Lindsay Tarpley with a chance, but you can see it goes well wide. And as you said, Sofia Perez did a good job the rest of the half after that. Here's our first half stats. Shots on goal, as you might imagine, led by the U.S. women's national team. Saves, 3 more recorded for Sofia Perez, in contrast to Hope Solo. Upcoming action on FSC, Serie A, Lazio and Ascoli, live on Sunday, November the 26th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Early start, 6 a.m. Pacific. Catania and Parma, also here on FSC. That one Sunday, November the 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. And we can't leave out Football Argentino. Of course, a favorite of my colleague Max Bretos. Boca Juniors looking to capture the title against Colón de Santa Fe, live on FSC. That also Sunday. When we come back, it's to the second half, and Max and I will be glad to bring it all to you right here on Fox Soccer Channel. We're back right after this.
Your world, your...
Back for the second half, and the United States looking to put a cushion between them and the feisty Mexicans who are hoping to make a World Cup right after they made an Olympic Games. Glad you could join us for the Women's Gold Cup. I'm Max Bretos, and very happy to be joined by Mark Rogandino, and I've been a little bit under the weather, and I've jumped on his back, and he's shouldered the burden. Job well done, Mark.
You're too kind. You are too kind.
I'll let you know of any changes that occur at the half. There has been an adjustment for the U.S., and you probably saw that coming. Greg Ryan will not really be impressed with this effort. The one goal, not really a clear-cut strike, a poacher's goal by Abby Wambach.
I think one of the characteristics and really main focal points of this Greg Ryan-led team is the fact that defending comes first. We've always seen the U.S. women's national team have success going forward in the attacking end of the field, but it's defending where I think really things, at times, where they might have been a bit exposed against tougher competition. And since Greg Ryan has taken over, this team has only given up 3 goals since March of 2005, including pitching a couple of shutouts during a 9-game span in 2005. That's something a lot of coaches would like to be able to boast, a record like that. They'll hope to keep that going in a similar fashion here in half number 2. I think as we showed you there by the first half highlights, Max, there were chances few and far between really for Mexico.
Carly Lloyd, the 1-2, gets it back. Well, you mentioned the goals against. I don't think the U.S. will allow a goal here, but if they don't improve their efforts, then the Canadians are more than capable, as they have the weapons to take the Gold Cup. It's an interesting tournament here. Every game means something. The 2 semifinals, the winners go to the World Cup. The 3rd place game, the winner goes to a playoff. And of course, the winner in the final is the champion. Intriguing tournament in that sense.
You get a sense that that is something that could lead this women's side to the 2006 World Cup Championship game, is the ability to defend first and then obviously go forward. I mean, this is a team that has produced more than 1,100 goals since the beginning of the program back in 1985. But we know that they say it in every sport, defense wins championships. They're doing it here tonight without the help of the defensive midfielder, Shannon Bach. She is not in the lineup right now, but you also have to give credit to the women's assistant, Coach Brett Hall from St. Charles, Illinois. He has helped, under the guidance of Greg Ryan, mold this back four with players like Heather Mitz and Lloyd Chalupny, along with Capt Whitehill, into a very solid unit that is very tough to break through.
Still a work in progress here, 1 year out of the World Cup. Ball lost there by Carly Lloyd. Breaking forward is Mexico, growing with confidence as the match wears on. Worbis. The goal for Mexico would be a stunner, and certainly put a panic in the American ladies, who generally don't have this much trouble with Mexico. Clearly they've arrived, and they haven't arrived yet. They're certainly on the right path.
Well, in the first half, we saw the U.S. side put together some sequences where they'd get 3-4 passes, work themselves up one side of the field, and then the final touch was not quite there, whether it was a question of the final ball not being quality or maybe not the right attacking run into the right space. I'm sure that Greg Ryan addressed that during the halftime chat. They'll come out. We'll see in the first 5-6 minutes here exactly what type of adjustments they make.
No changes at the half for either team. No changes whatsoever. One yellow card that was to Maribel Domínguez at the end of the first half.
Great turn.
It's Carly Lloyd. By the way, the goal by Abby Wambach, her 65th. She's still 93 off of the all-time record set by Mia Hamm, who ended her career with 158. You have 4 Centurions in the U.S. women's national team all-time goal scorers. Hamm, Lilly, Akers, and Milbrit.
And by the pace that Abby has been finding the back of the opponent's net, you get the sense it won't be much longer until she reaches that mark.
Whitehill. She was going for goal. Slip there by Leslie Osborne. Mexico taking possession away from the Americans. Lopez clipped.
Carly Lloyd coming in from behind on the tackle there. I'm not so sure, though. She should have been called for the foul. Watch, I think she comes in and pokes the ball out first. Well, might have clipped the ankle there on the left side of Lopez.
It's been pretty well officiated, all things
Absolutely
considered. If you missed the first game, we had some eye-opening decisions. Not so much from the lead official, but her assistant on the side. Rampone. Wambach, who started the first half in a delirious manner, getting so many touches. Not so much of a burden on her shoulders here. Still want to see good partnerships, good tandems develop, and maybe that's something that has lacked here tonight.
Oh, Greg Ryan, as we get a look at the Mexico coach, Leonardo Cuellar. Greg Ryan also has a player by the name of Denisha Adams on the bench. She's a bit young, out of UCLA, but in the mold of Abby Wambach, she is a big, strong presence up top, and you wonder what might happen if he puts both of those players in attacking at the same time.
No-look pass from Tarpley, gets it back. Oh, Mexican defending much better. They look more calm and collected. Lopez.
Question is for Mexico, once they get it out of the back, what can they do with it up top? The white jerseys clearly still outnumber the green jerseys once they clear that ball back out towards midfield. I think the difference you see from the U.S. attacking is you'll see Abby Wambach or even Lindsay Tarpley get the ball into space, but they'll hold it and wait for some additional assistance to come forward to help out in the attack, whereas Mexico, they play one ball forward, and if the target player, in this case usually Maribel Domínguez or even Lopez moving forward, can't hold on to the ball, there's no additional support coming forward.
Iris Mora, a player we've known pretty well on the international scene here. It looks like she might be coming in. Not a bad player to come off the bench to provide an offensive spark. A sign things are going well for Mexico. Sofia Perez yet to make a meaningful save in this second half. Domínguez. I mean, the Mexican girls are making moves and touches that they would never have dreamt of making a few years ago. All a matter of confidence. The 1-2. Took a little too long. No problem for Hope Solo.
Nice 1-2 down the left side there for Mexico. The return pass for Saucedo into the space, but she had plenty of space in front of her and elected to take an extra touch, and that allowed the time for the defense to converge back down onto her. And when she finally did try and serve it in, it was deflected right into the gloves of Hope Solo.
I think the first question we asked ourselves when these games arrived, has the gap closed between the top two in Concacaf and the rest of the region? And I could say confidently, without hesitation, it has. Canada won 4-0, but they were in a fight for much of that game with Jamaica, and regardless of what happens from here on in, Mexico gained a lot of respect. And you have to think the U.S. players for the first time are getting a little worried that they have a bigger fish to fry.
You could see it in the first half. Mexico going in very hard on a couple of 50-50 challenges, opportunities in the midfield. As you said, Max, coming up with a couple of nice sequences, crafty movement off the ball. They are definitely improving as a side, but still not quite on the level as this U.S. women's side. Obviously, the history, something that we talked about on the men's side. The tradition, maybe the men do not have it when they look up against teams like Germany, Brazil, Argentina, Italy, France. Those teams have had youth programs in the making for a long time to bring about their stars. And that's kind of what the U.S. has done in their own little microcosm, is bring a lot of these players up through the youth national system. And now we're seeing some of these players and their potential come into fruition.
Someone looks to step up for the U.S. Lloyd. Just to update that change, it was Juana Lopez out, Iris Mora in. Pretty even in the possession department. Swung wide, and you can get away with that on this pitch. Saved in the corner by Monica Gonzalez, who now has a free kick too.
Nice little touch, gets it in between the legs of Chalupny. All
that extra effort paid off. Even though a little frustrated, she couldn't get through and keep her feet. Ooh, this one swung towards the near post. Tricked Hope Solo for a moment, but Mora finds that shot offline.
Mora, the 25-year-old striker here for Mexico. A bit ambitious with that effort. I don't think you're going to catch Hope Solo with a chance like that. But again, Mora is another one of those players that Greg Ryan mentioned to me when he said we know the players that we have to keep tight wraps on. Domínguez, Ocampo, Mora are the three players in particular that were quick to come out of his mouth.
Tarpley gets a throw in, and as has been the case, Whitehill over to go along with it. Sandwiched in there was a Wambach. It'll be a corner. Several players here have found the back of the net with regularity. Scoring chances have dried up here. Driven ball to the near post, almost into the back of the net, and again Mexico, well, gift wrapping chances.
Saucedo right there on the doorstep, nearly touched it into the back of her own net. The U.S. will get a second crack at it, second straight corner within a minute.
Same spot and almost similar results. Flying in is Lloyd. Still there for the U.S. Tried the flick. Perez locates it, handles it.
Great craftiness by Lloyd on the left side. And similar to the first half, the U.S. is having the better of the opportunities going forward, and without a doubt in control of possession here, but can they convert that into meaningful chances is the question.
Sandoval. Every minute that goes by and the score remains the same, Mexico get more and more belief. Oh, lovely stuff there. Back to Lloyd. Spins away from one. Able to continue the possession. Osborne. Chalupny, who had that lovely flick. And we are at the hour mark. USA 1, Mexico 0. The goal by Wambach 10 minutes in. Here's Wambach. Backs away as Lloyd is facing goal. Turned by Lilly. Planted that foot and unable to make contact.
She had a bit of contact coming in from behind, and Christine Lilly was looking for the whistle there.
Again, since Greg Ryan took over, the U.S. 24-0-5.
Watch Christine Lilly here, as our colleague Christopher Sullivan would say, the little taquito with a little touch over the top. Nice little South American flavor there. Almost had it in stride going forward. She's got good pace.
As organized as we've seen that defense.
Lloyd with a bit of a wishful effort there. Great job on the first touch to corral it on the Mexico clearance. And couldn't quite put the shot on target. Now Mexico trying to come back the other way.
What a fought for it. Remains with Mexico. Worbis. We've got to give credit here to Leonardo Cuellar. Whatever he said and whatever he's done has worked, including bringing Mora in, who's had the has added a spark here. I mean, this is not the scoreline you're accustomed to seeing from the U.S. when they're qualifying for World Cups. 1991, they beat Mexico 12-0. In 95 in qualifying, they beat Mexico 9-0. Flicked into Solo. In 2003, they beat Mexico 3-0. The score continues to shrink.
Speaking of scoring, Max, see some goals in the English Premier League this weekend. Don't forget, soccer fans, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, live on FSC Saturday. It's Fulham versus Reading. You can catch all the Barclays English Premier League action here on FSC Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday we'll have that heavyweight title bout between Man United and Chelsea, numbers 1 and 2 respectively in the Premier League table. But the story here right now at the HDC, 1-0 in favor of the U.S. They're looking to tack another one on here right now as we see Leslie Osborne get taken down from behind. Leslie from Brookfield, Wisconsin, making her 29th appearance for the U.S. women's national team here tonight.
Here's Mora. I'm gonna give her credit, at least she fought for it, but she might be in trouble here. She is. Second yellow of the game, second for Mexico. Very savvy Christine Lilly, one out in the end.
Just as we see in the men's game, players will fight for the ball and try and use every little advantage they can get. The shirt tug there, and that's why Mora gets caught, and it looks as though Lindsay Tarpley, she's done after 2/3 of the match. And Heather O'Reilly, she will come into the match here. Heather, fresh off of her college campaign with the University of North Carolina, the East Brunswick, New Jersey native.
Free kick. Mexico have an answer. Shouldered in there by Chalupny. Now Lloyd. Lilly on the left. Gomez. Lilly, great crosser of the ball. Oh, a miracle goal! Just what the doctor ordered.
Guess
and
who?
once again, Abby Wambach.
Magic goal, clinically done by the U.S. And I tell you what, a huge amount of credit has to go to Christine Lilly here. Greg Ryan applauding both of his two superstars up top. Christine Lilly did not give up on that ball in the corner. She touched it around the defender, used her quick first step to get to it. You'll see it right here on the turnover. Watch this. Touch it into the space, get past the defender, first time finish before it hits the line. And Abby Wambach with a great comb-over header, the near post finish, 2-0 U.S. One more time, look at it. Gets to it just before it gets over the end line.
Oh, yes.
That is clinically done right there by Abby Wambach. Beats the defender to the spot. Not much room to work with, but when it happens bang, bang like that, nothing Sofia Perez can do in goal for Mexico, and the U.S. has doubled their lead.
Perhaps there, Mexico a victim of their growing confidence as Gomez decided to try and play it around Lilly instead of clear it, and it backfired in a big way. And just like that, you sense the momentum shift.
Well, in soccer, there are always certain rules that you are never supposed to go against. And one of those rules is dribbling out of the back. And I think you said it perfectly. You cannot try and beat someone out of the back, especially when you're only 25 yards away from goal. And the reason is why? Abby Wambach has made it 2-0.
Nothing wrong with just heaving the ball out. Mexico felt that they could work their way through, and then quick realization that they're against some of the world's best. And what can you say about the crossing of Christine Lilly? Short clearance by Perez.
Well, Max, just as you talk about the crossing there of Christine Lilly, I think you also have to talk about the finishing of Abby Wambach. The window of opportunity there is so tight and so small just tight and small that you have to hit it just perfectly, and that is exactly what Abby did.
Rampone. So USA can breathe easier and look to build off that second goal. There you go. Pickpocketed.
And I'm sure that Leonardo Cuellar will no doubt have some words with Elizabeth Gomez for trying to dribble that ball out from that corner.
Both American goals could have been avoided. Abby Wambach, you know, the great poachers, certainly in the men's game, she has those characteristics, you know, just knows where to be. Although that was an attractive goal, sometimes they're not, but positioning and an overall soccer IQ, huge weapons in the goal-scoring game. International goal number 66. I mentioned how she's had as many goals as Caps almost. She's closed the gap now, 83 caps, 65 goals.
Well, coming into tonight's action, she was averaging a goal every 1.33 matches. So surely with 2 goals here tonight, she has shrunk that statistic down.
What did I tell you about bringing your calculator into work? What did I tell you?
I'll have the exact figure for you in just a couple of minutes. You know, the name that comes to mind for me if you're trying to draw a parallel for Abby Wambach as Mexico sets up the set piece here is Brian McBride. A steady force up top, always wins the ball in the air, physical presence, also has the great tactical skill and vision to read the game.
Free kick from Mexico. Well hit. This has got a chance. Sandoval unable to hit it clean. Solo still had to come up with the goods.
Best chance of the match so far here for Mexico. Great service from the far side. And Cat Whitehill a little slow in getting back. She needs to be goal side there of Ruby Sandoval. Tell you what, Sandoval would love to have that chance back because all she really has to do is redirect it a little with a bit more of a firm touch on target. And we might see a 2-1 scoreline right here.
Underneath to Whitehill. Osborne. Chalupny. Mexico getting away with a few dicey tackles there. The bounce favoring Mexico there through the midfield circle is Leyva. Domínguez. 70th minute, 2 goals by Abby Wambach. And the U.S. 20 minutes away from qualifying for yet another World Cup. And just like Jamaica had to do, Mexico needs to start refocusing on perhaps that 3rd place game. And by doing that, getting out of here unscathed without injuries or suspensions. Here's O'Reilly. Just 20 years of age. Stopped there by Sandoval.
One of the things that O'Reilly's going to bring to this game is even a higher standard of pace. She is considered one of the quickest players on the U.S. women's national side. She just needs to find a way really to downshift from time to time. She seems to run in 5th gear a lot of the time, and if she can find a way to vary those speeds going forward, she is going to become very dangerous. You liken it to a pitcher learning to throw an off-speed pitch. If you can keep the defenders off balance and on their heels, it makes you that much more dangerous. The ball comes your way each time.
Not a lot for all the whistle. It was actually the assistant who made the call.
You know, I might agree with Monica Ocampo here. I think that the double team came at just the precise time. We'll get a look at it here on the replay. The double team comes in, and clearly you could see Christine Lilly losing control of the ball there. She wasn't sure exactly where it was. But that's the way this game goes. Sometimes you don't get the calls always in your favor.
Well hit by Lilly. Not taking her eyes off it with Sofia Perez, who has definitely opened some eyes here with her performance. Now the U.S. trying to turn it on, and this is what we're waiting for. To see them at their best. They're starting to move in the right direction.
As we wind into the final 20 minutes of this one, Max, I tell you what, having seen the first half of the doubleheader between Canada and Jamaica, the pace of this game is just so much more electric. I think Canada is going to find themselves in a completely different arena if they expect to play at a similar pace that they played earlier this evening, which gave them that 4-0 win against Jamaica. They're going to find a whole new ball of wax taking on this U.S. side if this scoreline stands up.
As for Mexico, you got to think they'd be a favorite against Jamaica for that third place game. They cannot lose their focus. So many things can go wrong or right in those 3 days between semis and final and or third place game. The ball lost. Mexico have excelled playing at a higher pace. There's not many nations can do at this level. Gomez given away cheaply. Here's Lloyd.
Great skill.
Defenders. Wagner left it short.
You can see the idea, though. Wagner just wanted to try and chip it into the space on the right side of the box there for Abby Wambach. Just not quite enough air underneath it. But the U.S. enjoying the possession here, and given the opportunity right now, they are just doing pretty much anything they like right now.
Lloyd with venom on it.
Max, it didn't look like she struck it that hard from the get-go, but you could tell that one had some pace behind it, and it nearly slipped past Sofia Perez.
All the possession now for the team in white. One-way traffic since the U.S. second goal. Lilly.
We've heard it so many times before. The ball can travel faster than any player. The U.S. can basically just kill off this match over the next quarter of an hour or even a bit more. Pick and choose the times when they really want to send themselves forward. As you can see, Heather Mitz sending that one over the top.
Maybe Cat Whitehill territory with this throw-in. Indeed it is. She'll make the long run. Tricky play to make there for Sandoval. Wagner still working with her bearings. Osborne, but Lloyd, who seems intent on scoring tonight, was offside.
The right idea there. Another look on the replay, and again, we had some words about the assistant referees in that first game in terms of determining offside, and clearly
Rampone stepping in there is Gomez, but the deflection not that kind of Mexico. Quarter of an hour left.
Credit to our referee tonight. She's done a stellar job there keeping control of this one. You could see that things were getting a bit feisty between some of the players out there. And it looks like a change coming here for Mexico as Monica Gonzalez set to give way to Monica Vergara.
Disappointment from Gonzalez. Gonzalez, but really nothing to be ashamed about. This performance, they're still coming hard. And they've got themselves a free kick. A goal for Mexico, a rarity against the U.S. And almost an impossibility. This one too tall.
Monica Vergara, who just came on, she's a 23-year-old and actually a bit of a veteran for this Mexican women's side. And the long line of Mexican midfielders, small, crafty, quick. Let's have to see if she can maybe put her stamp on this match and create some chances going forward here for Mexico.
Short clearance by Solo. Gets through to Carly Lloyd. Riley. Carly Lloyd not with the legs she had to open up the match. Leyva.
Good ball.
O'Reilly. Lloyd. Lilly fighting to the end. Lost that ball, but the U.S. still have possession. Chipped forward by O'Reilly. Chalupny. Here's Lloyd. Wambach. Going to return a favor or two. Lilly leveled. Never took her eye off that ball and almost came up with a third.
Another look at it here on the replay. Abby taking her time to serve that one in. I'll tell you what, Christine Lilly shows you not only is she great tactically and technically in terms of skill, but a huge heart for a player that only measures in at 5 feet 4 inches tall. Without a doubt, she has to be one of the smaller players out there and challenging Sofia Perez, the goalkeeper, coming out with a clear advantage there to get the gloves to it. Christine Lilly did not shy away from that challenge. Great job by the number 13 and the U.S. women's captain.
Courage and concentration for Lilly in order to make that header attempt. It does go awry, though.
Go fans. If you want to come out and see more of this Concacaf 2006 Women's Gold Cup, go to LAGalaxy.com. Tickets start as low as $15. There are so many great seats available here at the Home Depot Center. The finals on Sunday, as well as the third place match. Get a chance to see the two teams that are headed to the World Cup and the third and final team that will try and make their way through via a home-and-home series with Japan. If you're unaware, the two teams that play in the final will qualify automatically for the 2007 World Cup in China. And the third place winner will go on to play a home-and-home series with Japan in April of 2007 to determine which of those two sides will pick up that final berth, either Japan or the third place finisher here from the CONCACAF region.
Here's Wagner. Put that ball back, deflected. Getting her leg in the way was Fatima Leyva, stopping the Heather O'Reilly opportunity. And you mentioned that third place game, and if Mexico can get through, you gotta like their chances to play in the World Cup. Long way yet to go. You have to get by Jamaica and then Japan, but from what I've seen here, they're a superior product than those two.
Absolutely, great vision on that last sequence by Ali Wagner. Eventually earning the U.S. women the corner here, but under normal circumstances, I think probably you would have expected Wagner to serve that in toward the backside, but she saw that it was very crowded in front of the net. Took that extra split second to lay the ball back out top toward the penalty spot for Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly didn't quite get as much on the opportunity she probably would have liked, but again, great stuff from Ali Wagner. I talked about her earlier as Fatima Leyva will make way for Maria Gordillo. And Ali Wagner, that catalyst at the center of the midfield for this women's national team, does a great job receiving balls into midfield, turning, playing the ball in through the channels into the space, so Wambach and Lindsay Tarpley, Heather O'Reilly, players like that can run onto it. Christine Lilly, they can run onto the ball and receive it in a dangerous spot.
Charging through there was Mora.
And in fact, Ali Wagner is in a class that few in the women's national team can say that they're in. If you come here to the Home Depot Center, there's huge figures painted on the walls. When you come into the Home Depot Center, players like LaDainian Tomlinson in the NFL, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Ali Wagner is up there as well.
Directed clearance, Lloyd, another block. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's right next to my giant bronze statue of me. If you look up, you'll see it.
Is that the one with all the bird droppings on it?
Nothing you can do about that, but the groundskeepers does a great job of keeping it clean.
And fans, if you have not been out to the Home Depot Center, don't just come out to see the large figures we're talking about. Come out and see some great soccer. I told you about this Sunday, but obviously there's a number of events out here at the Home Depot Center. The Pete Sampras Tennis Center over there on the other side.
The Velodrome.
The Velodrome.
I tell you, it's just a fun place to be. A lot of activity. There's always games going on in the outer fields. We were there one time for a Galaxy game where the tennis center became a make-do lucha libre ring. And they had the Mexican luchadors going at it. So you never know what you're going to see. Boxing there, everything. Just a tremendous. One thing you can see when there's no games, you might just see the women's team or the men's team training.
Lucha libre, huh? They wear those masks, don't they? Were you one of those masked characters?
No. I think I exceed the weight limit.
Get another look here on the replay. You could see Lloyd maybe extending the boot a little high there, going in for the challenge. Follow-up chance by O'Reilly.
Well, into the final stretch here. We're just looking for the cherry on top, which a third goal would provide. Trapped out, good midfield defense there by Mexico. And they come pushing forward, intent on getting that first goal. Uh-oh. An awkward landing there. It was Leslie Osborne who stretched out to make the play.
She's got those long legs, and she stuck them out to win that ball from behind. Took a little bit of a shot on the second effort. Glad to see she is back up on her feet, ready to go.
I've made a few ladies who have impressed you here.
Well, of course, Abby Wambach has been sensational. I think Christine Lilly continues to bring the intangibles to the table in terms of not only the leadership, but just her work rate is so good up top. But I've been really impressed by Leslie Osborne. She has been that defensive presence behind Ali Wagner. I've talked about the services of Ali Wagner and how she provides the offensive spark in the midfield. But Leslie Osborne has done a great job. And, you know, you really can't leave out Carly Lloyd. I think what a fantastic treat for Greg Ryan, the fact that he has so many talented midfielders. I talked about Shannon Box not even being in the lineup here tonight. And she's a great defensive center midfielder as well.
Of the next generation of the names we may not know so much about, I'd have to agree with you. I think Carly Lloyd has been very impressive and has gone a long way to securing more playing time for herself. We know she's going to score the goals, Abby Wambach, as she did today. You know what you're going to get with the ever reliable Wambach.
And then on top of all the names we just mentioned, Max.
That's unforgivable, though, Abby. That's just not going to cut it.
I think you have to talk about the defense. Cat Whitehill, Lloyd Chalupny, Heather Mitz, Rampone. I mean, the defense in soccer is really like the offensive line in football. You don't really talk about those names, but they are such a huge force of what a team is trying to accomplish. if you can't score on me, you can't beat me. And Greg Ryan has really proved that philosophy, as we mentioned earlier, only giving up 3 goals since he took over in March of 2005.
Was onside, back out. Sliding again, but almost sneaking it in. It was Christine Lilly. An interesting analogy. I think it's kind of disrespectful to the back line of soccer players. They do much more than offensive linemen do.
Well, I mean in the sense that you don't always mention their names unless things go wrong.
That's true.
But
I agree with you on that point.
But they are a very vital component of what a team is trying to accomplish, correct?
Indeed. There's a few hairs are out of place the last few minutes. I was watching an NFL game, and they went on for about half an hour how difficult it was for this left offensive tackle to move to the right side. And I go, this is a joke, right?
And it looks like Carly Lloyd will receive a yellow card for that challenge coming over the back of Aris Mora.
Head clash, too. That's the first yellow for the U.S.
It was a foul there on Lloyd, but you like to see the aggressive nature that she is willing to sky up above the opponent to win that ball.
Molly Lloyd went to school at Rutgers. And here comes the native of Kahuku, Hawaii, Natasha Kai. Oh, I love the tats. She's 23, and we're going to hear a lot from this young lady. Already with 6 goals in 15 international appearances. And good ovation for Abby Wambach. And I was wondering if she was going to get this many minutes in. Remember that first 20 minutes? She was laboring a bit, but she found her groove. The great state of Hawaii starting to prove very nice breeding ground for soccer players. Ryan Ching on the men's side. I was told that at the NSCAA convention a couple years back. We got the representatives from Hawaii. Goes, keep an eye on our state. We're going to be providing the goods very soon. And sure enough, the names start popping up.
And of course, if you bring up Brian Ching, a huge congratulations go out to the Houston Dynamo for securing their first MLS Cup title. Tell you what, Dominic Kinnear has done a stellar job with that side down there in Houston.
Just in moving it, the team, and wants to be the other challenging enough, but winning a title, unbelievable. Here's Heather Mitz.
I know you mentioned the cherry on top here for this U.S. women's side to find that 3rd goal to cap things off here at the Home Depot Center, but just as important, obviously, is to keep things focused defensively. Nothing really takes the greatness away from a win as giving up a late goal to give away that shutout.
Defensively, just too good. We'll have a stiffer challenge on Sunday, but based on what we've seen here, the U.S. will be the favorites. Just playing at a quicker pace. Canada plodded around for a long stretch. Kept the Jamaicans in it. They'll have to sharpen their tools if they want to get one over the United States. 2 additional minutes to be played. And I am sure Greg Ryan would like to find an alternate scoring source. For some reason, Abby Wambach's unavailable in games. He knows he wants to be able to rely on another player to come up and take that responsibility.
And again, we want to remind you, fans, if you get a chance, come on out Sunday, 2006 Concacaf Women's Gold Cup Final in the consolation match. Go to LAGalaxy.com. Tickets as low as $15. You will see some great action.
Bring out the family.
The weather report looks good. It should be a nice, cool, sunny afternoon in Southern California. And what a way to finish off the Thanksgiving weekend, watching a little bit of Gold Cup action and hopefully seeing the U.S. women lift that trophy.
Weather report. I have a couple of their CDs. They can jam, man.
Hey, I am a frequent checker of weatherchannel.com. That was a free plug for them.
You know our policy on free advertising, right? Comes out of your pocket, my friend. Mark Rogandino working for free on this Wednesday. Finding a little bit of space as Tashakai. Another chance to cheer on the United States in a much bigger matchup against arch rivals Canada. But they got to fight against Mexico. Hey, there was about 20 minutes in the second half before Abby Wambach got that second goal. 20 minutes where Mexico had everyone a little bit scared here.
But I think soccer fans will be happy getting the matchup everyone wanted to see coming into this one. As you get a look at Hope Solo, and there's the final whistle. The U.S. gets the 2-0 win, Max.
Should be a good third-place game also. Mexico and Jamaica, USA, Canada. The day comes to a close. USA joins Canada in the 2007 World Cup. Highlights from the second semifinal of the Gold Cup, and Mexico did themselves proud in the second half. Almost leaked a goal as a mishit.
Lloyd with the chance there, but couldn't quite finish. Coming back the other way for Mexico. Saucedo with the opportunity. Probably should have put the service in a bit earlier, but Hope Solo, no relation to Han, coming up with the save there. And then the second goal for Abby Wambach. Christine Lilly with sensational work along the end line, serves it in. Abby Wambach with her second goal of the game. Near post heading, clinically done by the two ladies. One more look at it. Lilly with the service. Wambach slipping it in. A narrow gap. Tell you what, you couldn't fit much in between the near post and the goalkeeper, Sofia Perez. Abby Wambach did well to convert that chance. So 2-0 in favor of the U.S. Looking for one more opportunity. And again, Perez able to come up with the save off the long shot. Here are your final stat sheet tally. Shots on goal, 11-5 in favor of the U.S. And saves, 8-3. Corner 6-1. 3 yellow cards handed out, as we said earlier, Max. Great job by our officiating on this one. A reminder, our coverage continues Sunday. Max and I will be back first with the third place game, Jamaica and Mexico, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, followed up by the top billing, the final, the main course, if you will, live on FSC, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and right around 5:30 Pacific.
4 games, all with a lot of weight over the next few days. 2 are in the books. 2 teams headed to the World Cup. We're all out of time. Thanks for joining us on behalf of everyone here. Our producer, Medali Tay. Of course, Mark Rogandino and me, Max Bredos. See you on Sunday.